Hello everyone. Today I'd like to speak about the importance of having contracts and agreements in place during business transactions. And that can be something as simple as an employment contract or agreement that you negotiate when you are looking for a job. And the employer would usually give you a job offer, and this job offer is essentially an employment contract. So when you are looking to start with a new company, it's really important that all of the terms are set out in advance. So what you need to do is you need to have a conversation and you need to negotiate your title, because what you put on your resume is really important. It will follow you for the rest of your career. And so if you want to have progressive experience and show that you're climbing that ladder, you need to make sure that your title reflects that. Because if you're consistently in the same title for going from job to job, it's showing that you're not really having any growth. Even if you have growth within your responsibilities, your title should really reflect that. So when a job is posted and it has a certain title, you can always speak to the employer and see if it can be changed to suit whatever it is that you want to portray in your CV, in your resume, going forward. So that's something that can be negotiated. The other things obviously are your salary, the role expectations and responsibilities, any other compensation such as your vacation and bonuses that can be negotiated. If there is any travel, what kind of what you will be reimbursed for, the amount of travel, where you'll be traveling, the expectation on availability, whether you're expected to work events and be able to be available after hours and on weekends. Unfortunately, most jobs nowadays do require you to work evenings and weekends to be on call. With the availability of technology, everyone has cell phones and tablets and computers and laptops, and so they're available to answer emails and messages. However, these things need to be in your contract, because if you don't want to be at someone's beck and call, you need to make that clear. You need to say, these are the guidelines, these are the boundaries, these cannot be crossed. And usually when you're getting a salary, there's not a lot of room for overtime in terms of compensation, but that is something that can be worked into the agreement. If you're hourly, then yes, there are laws to protect you around that. But here we're talking about a general idea of why you need to have a contract in place. So that's one example. Now, if you're working for yourself as a self-employed freelancer, if you have your own company and you're using different service providers and affiliates and partners and things like that, then you need to have other types of contracts in place. So whether it is a contract with somebody you are doing business with that's providing a service to you, so if you're subcontracting work, if you're using other people to help you run your business, if you are hiring freelancers yourself, or if you have an affiliate contract with someone, these are really important contracts to have in place to protect all parties at all times. And then also, if you have clients and customers, you need to have agreements in place with them to have a description of the type of service or product that you're offering and what their responsibility is in terms of paying you for it and how and when, and all of these things can be put in there. The other thing is NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. You always want to protect everyone's privacy. These are really important to have, because if anything goes wrong, it is essentially your word against theirs and theirs against yours, and that's really hard to prove. Things can get very ugly if they're taken to court, if people don't live up to their agreements, if they break their word, if they breach the contract. It's always easier to be able to make things right if everything is in writing. Because if you don't have it in writing, then there's nothing to go back to. Anyone can say, I said this, I said that, you said this, you said that. How are you going to prove that? But if it's in writing, if everyone signed off on it, there are different clauses that can be put into different contracts, and those clauses can be amended. There can be changes, but the foundation is there. So the expectation, you're going in trusting that everyone's going to live up to their obligations. The trust factor is there from the beginning. This just basically protects you in case anything goes wrong, right? Because if you don't have it in writing and you've trusted them and obviously they were untrustworthy, then the only recourse is to take them to court. And again, if there's nothing in writing, there's very little that you can do, or you'll have to fight and end up spending more money and more time and energy and stress. So you really don't want that. There are different types of contracts that you can have. Some are more extensive and some are more straightforward. Like I said, the clauses can come and go. There are templates that you can find online for different types of contract, but it's important to understand what type of contract it is that you're venturing into. So when you're negotiating, you really need to know what the relationship is going to be. And this is something that you can use a lawyer for, or if you know how to do it yourself, that's great. Or you can use someone like me who offers this type of service, and I can provide more guidance on that. So if you have any more questions about this, please feel free to give me a call or to send me a message. I'm always available to help you out. And if you want to try getting it on your own, then that's fine too. The internet is a great place to start. And just remember that having an agreement in place will protect you and every party involved. And also it shows more professionalism. So you're really giving the impression that you know what you're doing, that you are not afraid to put your word in writing, that you are going to go in with good faith, and the other party is as well. And everyone should be able to feel comfortable having a business relationship or transaction with that. So if you have any more questions, like I said, you can feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, I wish you a beautiful day and all the very best, and we'll see you next time.